let's talk the Stranger Things characters' perks. So first, Dustin. His first perk, Bada Bada Boom. After completing 20% worth of repairs, press ability button 1 next to a window to trap it for 60 seconds. The trap triggers when the killer performs a vault on the window, inflicting them with 50% hindered for 6 seconds. This one's fine. I don't love that it has such a low barrier to entry, because Jill and Leon's Blast Mine and Flashbang perks, it's like 40% progress, whereas this, only 20% to essentially give the killer a hindrance to their bamboozle or power. It's a bit much. Make the requirement larger or make it so the trap is not active for as long. His second perk, Change of Plan. You start with 2 tokens. While inside a locker and holding a non-event toolbox, press ability button 2 to spend 1 token and transform your toolbox into a medkit of the same rarity with a random add-on of the same rarity. The new medkit has 100% of its charges. This could be overpowered, but overall, I think it's a pretty fun perk, and as far as I can tell, you don't regain tokens. It's nice that you can now go in with a toolbox and get a medkit, because those are the 2 strongest items in the game. His third perk, Teamwork, Full Circuit. For each survivor repairing a generator with you, the size of the good skill check zone is increased by 25%. That's fine-ish, unless you're running it with stakeout. However, it's the second part that I have a little issue with. While repairing with at least one other survivor, you repair 5% faster. No! We already have a perk that boosts repair speed when repairing with another survivor. It's called Prove Thyself. Please don't boost them even more. So overall, I feel like Dustin has some fun, if perhaps a bit over-tuned perks. Next, we have Handsome Squidward. So her first perk is Extrasensory Perception. Crouch for 4 seconds to see the auras of survivors, killers, and a variety of objects. These are revealed in an expanding 44-meter radius. You gain Elusive and Oblivious. When you stop crouching, or after 11 seconds, all effects of this perk end and it enters a 40-second cooldown. This essentially makes Detective's Hunch useless, and I do think the cooldown is far too short, especially since it is testing the new rather strong elusive status effect. However, overall, it's not the best perk, especially if you're swiffing and people can just tell you what's around you. Her second perk, We See You. Gain 1 token when the killer reveals your aura. When you have 4 tokens, they are all consumed, and the killer's aura is revealed to you and other survivors for 15 seconds. This perk has a 10-second cooldown. Similarly, I feel like this is kind of useless, because it is entirely dependent on the killer seeing you 4 times, and on top of that, in a swift, you and the other survivors again can simply call each other out. And her third perk is Teamwork, Soft Spoken. For each survivor repairing a generator with you, the range at which the generator's noise is heard is reduced by 25%, which I actually think is kind of good, since good killer mains will try to use sound to pick up where survivors are. While repairing with at least 1 other survivor, you repair 5% faster. Again, I have made my beef with that clear. Prove Thyself is already very oppressive. We do not need stronger perks that do something similar. So overall, Eleven's perks are mostly kind of useless if you're playing in a swift. Maybe some solo queue players can get some use out of them. And finally, Vecna. So his first perk is Hex, Hive Mind. The first time you hook any survivor, a dull totem becomes a hex totem. Generators are highlighted. The intensity of the generator's auras reveals their repair progress. When 1 generator remains, all remaining generators explode, lose 10% progress, and start regressing, and the hex totem becomes dull. This is nice insofar that it is another hex perk that gets ignited, and it does help the killer in the later game if the hex totem is still up. So I could see it getting some use in endgame builds, especially if you run Undying to give it a second life. And that continues with his second perk, Secret Project. When a totem is blessed or cleansed, block a random unblocked generator for 30 seconds. That is a decent effect, and if you're running a hex build, you could get some value out of it. However, much like Lethal Pursuer, the next effect is one that could be used with other perks and add-ons. When 1 or more generators become blocked, you gain Undetectable for 30 seconds. So this is a generator blocking stealth perk. Combine it with, say, Deadlock or Corrupt Intervention, and you could get a lot of value out of it. I kind of like that, and it might make me try out some gen blocking builds as opposed to always relying simply on gen regression. With that said, his third perk, and perhaps my favorite of all of them, Turn Back the Clock. After hooking a survivor for 60 seconds, press the ability button 1 to make a target generator within 20 meters explode, lose 10% progress, and start regressing. If there was a Venn diagram with Pop Goes the Weasel, Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, and Eruption, this is probably what would come out. So overall, I like Vecna's perks a lot and think they have the real chance to at least become off meta. I think I have a pretty good idea of what this chapter entails. And all I can say is, it's not a total dumpster fire. That may be damned by faint praise, but after the late 2025 they had, it's a fucking step up for behavior.